Okay, my this is take two of what if Deku had takeover magic, beast soul. And for those of you who don't know, takeover magic is a type of magic that allows the user to take over the appearance and abilities of beings they really know or conquered. Like how Mary Jane has the ability to turn into her demon forms, while Lizana has the ability to turn into animals, and Elfman Strauss has the ability to take on the appearance and abilities of beasts he's encountered. Elfman's magic allows him to record and seal animal, monsters, body parts, or appearance that he has touched into his right arm or body. And so, yes, I will be giving Izuku takeover magic beast soul only, not the demon part, not the animal part, but the beast soul takeover. So, we'll start off when Deku is born. When Deku is born, he is enthusiastic. He moves around, he looks around to see where he is, and he's looking around like he's checking the coast, like he's surveying his surroundings. And the doctors see this and they say, this kid already is aware or getting, surveying his surroundings. And so Hisashi is there, and Inko as well, because duh, she's the one giving birth. So now Inko is, well, let me say, more is a bit different from the Inko and canon. Inko is a bit more overprotective of Deku because she sees him as a baby, of course, like who wouldn't? But this is overprotective, you know, a bit more than she is in canon, like I said. So for the first 2 to 3 years of Deku's life, Hisashi is around, but then he leaves, you know, for his oversee business in quotes. And yeah, so he leaves to go work overseas, and Deku is alone with Inko in the house, like in original canon. So we come to when Deku is 4 years old. Deku goes to the Quirk doctor, and the Quirk doctors are a bit confused because Deku does not have the extra joint in his pinky toe, but they've done all the experiments and tests they could, but have not seen a sign of him having a quirk. Or let me say, they know he has a quirk because, like I said, extra joint in the pinky toe is not there, but they don't know what it is. So they tell Inko that, ma'am, your son has does not have the extra joint in his pinky toe, meaning he has a quirk. But we are not sure what his quirk is. We theorize that his quirk will be a mixture of your quirk and your husband's quirk. Wait, sorry. May I ask what your quirk is, ma'am? My quirk is I have the ability to attract small objects towards me. And my husband, he has fire breath. Oh, so maybe your son will develop either your quirk or his quirk or a mixture of both. But just to let you guys know, no, he will not. Well, let me say he will get an ability like his dad's, but it won't be fire. Just wait. I'll show. I'll tell you what it is. Just chill. Just chill. So Deku goes home with Inko, and he's excited because the doctor said he may not have a quirk now, but he will get a quirk, and maybe it might be like his dad's or his mom or a mixture of both. And so the next day when he goes to preschool, he goes and he he tells he Bakugo asks him like, "Yo, what did the quirk doctor say? Do you have your quirk already?" Then like, no. They said that I do have a quirk, but they don't know what it is. Like, oh, okay, don't worry. Maybe it'll awaken later. And before the quirks, before Deku and Bakugo are still friends, like they're damn near brothers, like, cause like in original canon, they hang out together, they play together. So yeah. Now later on, people start to hear a strange noise, a popping noise coming from the other side of the classroom. And when they look there, they see Bakugo with small little sparks appearing in his hands, going pop, 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 pop. And people still say, oh my God, Bakugo awaken this quirk, Bakugo awaken this quirk. And so everybody starts to crowd around Bakugo. And like in original canon, they praise him for having such a strong and fleshy quirk. And so this is when we start to witness Bakugo's personality change. Like in original canon, he becomes more aggressive, he becomes more prideful, he becomes more aggressive towards other people with weak quirks or people who are quirkless. So Bakugo now starts to pick on Deku because his quirk still hasn't awoken yet. And so he be like, ah, your quirk hasn't awakened yet. So that means you're quirkless. Then Deku's like, no, I'm not quirkless. The doctor said my quirk will awaken, but your quirk hasn't awakened. So that means you're still quirkless. Sorry. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, Bakugo bullying Deku. So Bakugo, like I said, same in canon, starts to bully Deku because he thinks he's quirkless because his quirk still hasn't awakened yet. And so let's time skip a year to when Deku is 5 years old. To the time where Deku is still hasn't awoken his quirk yet. And so Bakugo is now bullying some random kid for having a quirk. Let's say his quirk is he can, let's say it's a form of echolocation, yeah, like that, but not very strong one, like not very strong, like he has to tap something for the sound to bounce around and he can know where everything is located. So yeah, so Bakugo is bullying that kid for having a weak quirk. And so Deku sees this and he runs up and steps in front of the kid to protect him, saying, uh, Kachan, could you please leave this kid alone? Like, he did nothing to you. And Bakugo looks at him like, ah, it's you quirkless loser again. Come on, move out of the way before I hurt you. And Deku's like, no, I want to be a hero. And a hero can't leave a person who's in trouble. And Bakugo gets mad because he's used to getting his way because people think his quirk is flashy and powerful, so they don't mess with him. And so Bakugo orders his lackeys to go and hold him down, and they do that. They hold him down, and Bakugo runs up and throws an explosion at Deku's chest, singeing his t-shirt and burning it up and leaving a smaller burn mark. And so for the next 5 minutes, Deku is being beaten by Bakugo and his lackeys. And Bakugo comes up to say the last few words, huh, you can't do anything. You're useless. You're a Deku. And so that's how, I'm not sure if that's how in canon how he got his name, but I'll just say that in this what if that's how he gets the name Deku. So Bakugo and his lackeys leave, and the random kid comes up and says, thank you for saving me. I really appreciate it. And Deku's like, no problem. And the kid runs off. So Deku goes home, battered, beaten, burned, and bruised. And when he opens the door, he greets Inko and tries to sneak up to his room without being seen. But Inko turns around and sees Deku with burn marks, bruises, you know, and she gets worried and runs up to him and hugs him and says, Izuku, what happened? And Izuku tells him that he Bakugo and his friends beat him up when he was trying to protect some kid who was being bullied by Bakugo. And when Inko hears this, she gets mad and she goes to the phone and calls up Mitsuki. Since Mitsuki and Inko were or are good friends. And so Inko calls up Mitsuki and says, could you please tell your son to pull back on my son? Like, he came home with bruises and burn marks. And let us say that in Izuki and Bakugo's class, nobody has a quirk that can burn. And Bakugo's the only one with that quirk like that. So, yeah. So, Inko knows it's Bakugo. So, she tells Mitsuki that there's no other student in the class that has a quirk that can burn. Only Katsuki Bakugo has one. So could you please tell him to ease up on my child? Like, come on. Like, you can't let him, do that to my son. So Mitsuki calls down Bakugo from his room, and Bakugo comes like, what do you want, you old hag? Where did I leave off? Oh yeah. Mitsuki calls down Bakugo to, talk to him, and he's like, what do you want, you old hag? And Mitsuki knocks Bakugo over the side of the head. And so Mitsuki scolds Bakugo on bullying another kid and bullying Deku. Like, she doesn't literally say Deku, she just says Izuku, but I'm just gonna call him Deku for my benefit. So yeah. So yeah. Bakugo then says, it's not my fault he's quirkless. If he had a quirk, he wouldn't have been hurt that bad. And Mitsuki knocks Bakugo over the head again, and she talks to Inko and says she'll deal with it and she's very sorry. And she hangs up. So Inko tells Deku this, and she says that Mitsuki will handle Bakugo and she's very sorry for what Bakugo did to you. And so Izuku nods his head and goes up to his room to change and to bath, then change into a fresh pair of clothes. And so when Izuku comes down, Inko is already done with the dinner, and over dinner, she tells Izuku that they'll be going camping. And Izuku is excited because the last time we went camping, his dad was around, because his dad always made, camping fun, roasting s'mores over the fire, watching the birds, singing songs, telling scary stories, just playing, his dad. And so, quick note that it's about to get, well, not dark per se, but a bit sad. Yeah. And so the next day, well, time skip to the next day. The next day, Deku and his mom are in the forest, setting up camp. And so Inko tells Deku to go get some firewood, and he goes. And so, as he's in the forest, he meets this strange-looking man. He looks, well, not strange. He looks animal-like. He has a blue trench coat, a blue shirt, some jeans, and a belt. The jeans fastened with a brown belt, and he has blue fur and black hair. And if most of you know, you already know who it is, and if you don't know, well, too bad. I'll tell you later. So, so now, Deku looks at this man and greets him, saying, "Hello." This man turns around and says, "Oh, it's just a little kid. Hello, you little brat. What are you doing here? What are you doing around here?" And Deku says, um, 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 speak out, say something, kid. And because I'm on a camping trip with my mom. Uh, oh, okay. Anyway, gotta go, kid. And he walks off. So Deku picks up the firewood and he goes back to the camp, thinking about why that man looked so. Why that man was. What's that man? What was that man's quirk? Yeah. And so he goes back and tells Ingo that he saw some strange animal or man, a man with a mutation quirk. And he says, "Oh, really? Oh, okay. Maybe we'll see him. Maybe we'll see him sometime." And so Deku says, "Yeah, maybe." And they go back to doing whatever they're doing. So later that day, they are attacked by a quirk bear. And let me say, quirk animals aren't as rare as they are in original canon. Like they are found deep, deep, deep in the forest, but they are not rare. It's just that people avoid them because, well, an animal with a quirk, like, come on, like, wouldn't you avoid an animal with a quirk? Because they don't care whether they're good or bad. They just know you pull up on me, it's gonna be like that. Like, come up to me, I'ma come up to you, just like that. Leave me be, I'll leave you be. And so they're attacked by a quirk bear. Let me say this bear's quirk is like a some sort of bone manipulation. Like it increases its nails. Yeah. And so this bear comes up and is about to attack little Izuku. And so Inko sees this and she attracts a small rock to her and throws it at the bear to get the bear's attention, saying, "Leave him alone. Leave my baby alone." And the bear gets well, irritated and goes up to attack Inko. And Izuku sees this and he starts screaming, telling the bear to leave his mom alone. But then the bear then with a slash of its paw cuts Inko, and you know you know what a bear does. The bear and mauls her to death. I know it's kind of dark, but then yeah, for those who love Inko, I'm sorry, but yeah. So Izuku sees this and he starts screaming and crying, saying, shouting out Inko's name, saying, "Mom, Mom, Mom, are you okay?" And so the bear turns around and starts going up to Deku. And out of nowhere, the same man comes out of the forest and attacks the bear, killing it. And then he comes up to the little kid and says, "Oh, so it's you again. Well, tough luck. Anyway, I'm sorry about your mom, but there's nothing I can do. She's gone now. And why didn't you use your quirk? And why didn't you use your quirk to try and help her?" And then Izuku's like, I don't know what my quirk is. It hasn't awoken yet." And so Deku, so no, the man looks at Izuku and is like, "Oh, this is gonna be a pain, but hey kid, you wanna come with me?" And so Deku looks at the 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 man and is like, okay, if that's okay with you." And like, yeah, let's go. But before that, Deku goes up to Inko and looks at her pretty mangled body, uh, like damn, like nah, like nobody deserves a death like that, but I had to do that. So I'm sorry for those who, you know, didn't like that, but yeah. So Deku comes up to Inko and sees. Let me just say that Inko and Deku have like a little locket. Like one has a picture of Izuku on it, and one has a picture of Inko on it. So Izuku takes Inko's locket and puts it on. It's his as well. And then he walks up to the dead bear, and just for to relieve anger, he kicks it and punches it, you know, to relieve frustration because this bear just killed his mom. And so the man says, "Hey kid, stop wasting time and let's go." And he says, "Okay." And little did Izuku know, he recorded the bears. He recorded the bear into his, let me just say, bestiary. Like if you guys know what a bestiary is like a book of monsters or creatures or things that are in mythology, like Norse mythology, Greek mythology, stuff like that. Let's say that Izuku has like a bestiary in his mind, like where he records and seals animals that he's met, beat, conquered, or touched. So since Deku touched the bear, he has gained its appearance, its ability, and its you know yeah. So Deku moves on and goes with the man, and they walk into the forest. And this is my first what if. I'm not sure if you guys like it, but yeah, I'm gonna end things here. So yeah, if I didn't introduce myself, or if some of you haven't seen my name, I am the Fallen Saint Silver, and hope you guys like this video. If not, then go down to the comment section and tell me what you didn't like about the video, what you want me to change about it. Like, yeah, and leave a like, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.